think I could say for everybody here that we enjoy big accomplishments, whether it be something like minuscule or something that's completely and utterly huge. I mean, many accomplishments out there have been feasible almost ever since the dawn of humanity, and we always want to celebrate every achievement possible. Everybody should deserve the level of what they very much are capable of doing, and we did very much get that. Like there was like an amazing achievement by somebody, and the journalist just had to ruin it. I'm of course talking about the whole thing that happened with a Sky News reporter essentially dunking on this 13-year-old kid, Willis Gibson, who ended up being a Tetris record entirely for reaching, I think, a 100 level 157 of the actual end screen. So this was a big and huge, like, monumental deal, because this was a achievement that hasn't exactly been done like way beforehand. There have been many who managed to do it, but there was like one time where AI did most technically be a human, but we don't technically talk about that. It was an AI program called StackRapid that was managed to actually break the logjam that very much was happening to it, and managed to get to level 237 before crashing the game. And since it ran on a modified version of Tetris, so it wasn't comparable, it didn't count it, but it was something I didn't exactly know, that the AI very much almost came very much close to almost being an actual human being. But that's not the point. That's kind of just like a nice little tidbit fact that I kind of just found out. The essential part is this 13-year-old kid very much beat a record that was almost seemingly impossible by like everybody's like nobody expected it to happen. And here's the clip, honestly, that very much just shows like the the amount of like things are going to his head when he actually beat the world record. Like it's honestly just like really just like wholesome, and just it just gives me like my body my like its own version of just like serotonin.
Pass out. I'm gonna pass out. Oh my god. I can't feel.
I cannot imagine the amount of joy that he must have felt when he very much realized that he broke a entire achievement all on his own. And like, I gotta give props to Willis Gibson, honestly. Like, shout out to him. Like, there's a lot of, like, he has done this like about like 2 weeks ago, so he did this like before like New Year's, and like the New Year became and all that. So honestly, that was like, that is like an impressive achievement all in itself, and he deserves all the credit. Like, and what more better way to celebrate something than to completely dunk on it, because that's what this Sky News reporter ended up doing. The name was Jane Secker, and she was so bitter about this whole thing that she essentially just did not like anything about it. And here's the 47 clip that's kind of just going around on Twitter.
Now, Tetris has long been touted as a video game that just can't be beaten because it just goes on and on.
Oh my god!
Well, 13-year-old American Willis Gibson has technically proven that wrong. He beat the original Nintendo version of the game by reaching such a high level that the coding froze. That left the program unable to generate any more falling blocks. As a mother, I would just say step away from the screen, go outside, get some fresh air. Beating Tetris is not a life goal. Speaking of fresh air, let's get a look at the weather.
So, by the end, she very much dismisses like his entire like achievement that he very much so deserves. Just saying that like, oh, it's not an exactly a real achievement. Like, go outside, touch some grass, do something else. And I just gotta disagree with that entirely. I think the kid deserved the achievement. Like, everybody around me has agreed that very much the kid does deserve the actual achievement. I have no idea as to why she was even trying to do this. Like, was she this like bitter that this kid was managing to do like this accomplishment? Because she really just sounded like it. Like, I don't know what type of vendetta that she at least has with this kid, or just like fun in general, or that she just thinks that low of video games. Because let me tell you, there are many accomplishments out there that did prove to be very big things in video games. Like, there's a ton of them out there, endless, that like I can't exactly pull up as of right now because there's like, you know, so many. But it probably would mean nothing to her because like she's working at Sky News, and apparently Sky News is not exactly much of a reliable like, you know, organization to begin with for the most part, and it was just like awful. So everybody essentially just jumped in. They essentially were just dunking on Sky News entirely, and nobody very much held back. They went full in. Like the moment you mess with like a kid of like any kind on like, you know, any like online platform, people are gonna, you know, come to his defense and his defense like only. But even the makers of Tetris even said that they actually congratulated him on this achievement and this achievement alone. And like, I don't know why that that Sky News reporter even bothered to try and do that. I don't know what she had against with him, because like I don't get it. Probably will never going to like understand as to why she even like was decided to like even do this. But like, it's a big accomplishment for the kid. Like, let him do it. It reminds me of like a scene in Invincible where Nolan doesn't understand like why Mark's trying so hard to like, you know, hit a baseball or like trying to get that like, you know, over there, and like the mother very much has to like go up to them and say like, hey, you know, these are big, you know, things for a lot of children out there. Like it, like, you know, she essentially just explains that like, you know, these things matter to a lot of humans. Then, you know, these achievements do like help us, you know, as we grow to, you know, push harder and harder before. And I feel like that's what this like this news report almost does. Like she doesn't understand why the achievement's even like there to begin with. And it's just insulting, to be honest. Like, come on, like the kid did something that like no one could have ever done, and it was supported by everybody. Meanwhile, you're just there on Sky News doing what? Reporting news? No one's literally gonna remember your face like 100 years from now. Until now, you're probably gonna be remembered as like that one like old lady that just didn't like video games so much so that you dunked on the kid's achievement. And I like, that's just like insulting, my man. Like that's just really just insulting and just really petty for what you even have to do. And that's really just what I wanted to do. I just kind of want to make a quick video kind of just talking about it, because I didn't realize it got so much traction from it, but I didn't know it was like of that level of like just like diminishing for it. So I wanted to come in for like the kid's defense. You know, listen, I'm willing to defend this kid on anything that he more or less does. Okay, he's got me on his side. So there you have it. Yeah, that's about it. Bye bye.